Hello, this is Chris with Pixel Freak, and tonight we are taking a look at Horn. So the game is here. It's finally out. This is a game that was produced by Zynga. It was created by, I think the name is Phosphor Games. So it's had a kind of a weird reception because some of the initial screenshots show this as being a hugely awesome graphical experience. But it's made by Zynga. Well, at least produced by Zynga. So a lot of people are kind of about it being Zynga. My experience has been it's just a pretty sweet game. Now, I've had quite a few problems with freezing, but I've kind of gotten over it. You know, I'm going to shut up real quick. I'm going to let you guys watch the intro, and I'll kick back in when that's done.
An inconceivably long time ago, there was a land called Rains. Rains was a beautiful and glorious land in the midst of a golden age of peace and happiness. Having survived many dark ages of war, famine, and superstition, the people of Rains had turned their back on fear, mistrust, and hatred towards agriculture, philosophy, art, and the sciences. Within the land of Rains, living in a village called Cuthbert, there was a boy named Horn. Not much need be said of Horn right now. He was an orphan in the care of his Aunt Belle, a blacksmith's apprentice on the eve of manhood. Far more interesting than Horn's childhood is the story of how he awakened one day in the ruins of an old tower with absolutely no memory of how he had gotten there, and of what perils and horrors he faced thereafter.
So there you go. That's the intro. And then you wake up in this kind of ruin area and the game begins. So as I was saying before the intro got started there, I've had some issues with freezing. And if anybody else is playing the game out there and listening to this and watching this, the fix that I've found so far for the freezing is to just reboot the device. And it actually might take 3 or 4 tries. It's because there's something seems to be up with how the game is maybe dealing with memory, I think. I'm not sure exactly what's going on, but you'll play through in the beginning and then it'll freeze. And then if you reset just the app, it won't fix it. You actually have to reboot your device. So once I did that, it was good to go. So getting back into the game, the controls are actually pretty interesting. You scroll around with slides of the touchscreen. And in order to move from place to place, you actually touch on the ground. So when I went to go pick up that item, I touched the item and then he walked over and picked it up. Same thing with this door here. I'm going to have to touch the door to walk over to it. But I kind of test out the controls first. So it's kind of interesting. I mean, it's not really fluid controls. But the way the game is made, how the fighting works and stuff, you really don't need very fluid controls. The fighting kind of goes down similar to like Infinity Blade, where it's just you versus one guy and you can dodge and attack. And we'll get into that a little bit more later. But for now, we're walking around. So there's these green crystals, and you know, I've played this game now for about an hour. I can't find what the hell those are for, and I'm sure there's an in-app store. I do show a menu where it says you can recover your purchases, which is pretty cool. So anything you buy, you should be able to restore later on. That's pretty awesome. Unfortunately, I haven't been able to figure out where the hell the store is. It's not that bad, though. I mean, it is a $7 game, so you would kind of expect that the store would be kind of a small part. I haven't seen anything that makes it look like the store is a major part of the game at all. So it's going to be kind of like Nova 3, which is great.
I'm afraid I'm a bit lost. I don't know how I got here.
And that's a yellow robot. I can't help but point out the obvious parallel here with the White Rabbit and Alice in Wonderland. Quick, chase him. I'm late. So this is kind of a cool mechanic here where you touch to jump and then you slide to crawl up. It's interesting. I'm kind of hoping they use that a little more later in the game, but maybe implement it in more of a fluid way. the way I've seen it so far is it always cues you to slide up. I would assume that the game would think you know that later on and just not cue you for it, just allow you to do it. A goose. Whatever it was. That was kind of weird, like a bird pops out. See, it cued me again there, but... So right here is where it used to freeze, and I did a cut because I got the freeze to actually
Please,
go
sir.
away.
I mean no harm. I need help.
Why do you follow me? Have you seen the High Pygon Emperor's personal squire? I seem to have misplaced him. Say, what are you? Why do you look strange? You are pink and rubbery.
It's nothing. Never mind. Sorry to trouble you.
That's nothing.
I'll just be going.
Stop!
I'm just pink and rubbery,
Why
that's
do you
nothing.
carry the horn of the High Pygon Emperor's personal squire?
I don't know. I found it when I woke up.
Did you break the High Pygon Emperor's personal squire? This is all very odd. You are pink and rubbery, and you broke the High Pygon Emperor's personal squire.
I didn't. I'm telling you, I just found it.
The Pygon High Council will need to examine you to sort this out. If you are broken, they will fix you. Perhaps you are inside out. That would be easy to fix. You will come with me.
No!
So very good dialogue. I'm loving the dialogue. Word choice is awesome. The voice acting is pretty good. And the fights here are pretty decent as well. So the way this works is you get a left and a right roll. You can see those in the arrows. And then slashing the screen allows you to slash. You're also given two different items that you can use throughout the fights. On the left-hand side, you have potions. And on the right-hand side, you have like these little smoke grenade things. Flame things. So they make you get hit there, so you'll use a potion. They teach you how to use the potions. And there's the smoke bomb thing. Stunned him, and then slash away. So I don't remember Alice in Wonderland ending up like this, because I'm pretty sure she didn't decapitate the rabbit.
Grab me! No!
But I could be wrong.
What was that?
So it's pretty funny. There's some kind of humorous spots that I've hit so far. This was one of them. Him chasing after his head. And that's another thing. I actually kind of looked around too to try to find like hidden stuff. And then when I got a little bit farther in the game, there was kind of like, oh, some extra gems on the side, or you know, like a little hidden walkway. But it didn't really lead me to much more than just a few extra gems. There are quite a few cool little cutscenes, and I really like it's that extra production value that really makes this game interesting.
What is happening?
Even though I've been through about 4 fights or so, and they're all very similar. And like I said, it's a lot like Infinity Blade. So this is another mechanic. This is walking against the wall. I haven't found it to be too difficult. I actually slip at one point here. There we go. But it's pretty easy to correct. And I'm sure if you were to die, you'd just end up just a little ways back, so. Yeah, pretty easy mechanic. This has gotten used a few times since I've been playing. Another thing is, you know, I was thinking about doing a walkthrough for this game when it first came out, hearing that it was like a kind of action RPG game. But in playing it so far, there really isn't a lot of a need to do that, just because there doesn't seem to be many puzzles in the game. But if it turns out there is, I may actually do a walkthrough for this game. So that's the end of that guy. You know, it was kind of funny when I saw that the first time. I was like, he's talking to his body, but his ears should be on his head. I always think it's funny when there's scenes in movies like that where the head talks to the body. Come over here. First of all, it can't hear you. Second of all, it shouldn't be able to see you either. Whatevs.
This might come in handy.
Ah, yes, another weapon.
Guess that's how
So this
you
is
fire.
kind of cool the way this works. You just aim it, and then you can pull back on the You'll see it here in a second. The bottom right-hand corner, it allows you to fire. Now, the one thing I didn't like about this kind of gun thing that you get to shoot these guys down. The one thing I didn't like with this gun thing is that the aim is, it's right, but it's almost like the bullet doesn't register. The collision detection on the bullet is not super great. Watch. So I pull back, shoot. See, it seemed like it went through him, and then he reacted to getting hit. So that makes me hope that later in the game I don't have to shoot moving targets, because that might be a mess. And, you know, I haven't had that happen yet, so I don't know. But it just can't, it seemed odd. Nonetheless, cool extra weapon. Another thing to do.
Cuthbert? Wait. This is Eggbeard River Hollow. But it looks so different.
All the buildings are gone. There's no more buildings. So that looks like a fight, and that looks like a little thing to explore. See, like, this is what I'm saying. There's a gem right there. It's like, oh, one gem. Okay. So exploring hasn't really paid off much as far as extra items or anything. Just a couple extra gems here and there. Check out the menu. Not a lot to say here. Here's the settings. You can see the online instructions there. I try to click this, but it brings up browser screens, and I don't want to do that while I'm capturing. So there's a restore purchases button there, and then some extra other things. There's actually some more items to the bottom if you scroll down, but nothing was really interesting. This looks like quests. I can't help but think that there should be a title what I was looking at there, because it's really difficult to see what you were looking at. Clicking around the screen, I really couldn't find anything else in that menu, at least not at this point in the game. So
this road
moving
is off
on.
limits. It is not on limits. You are limited to anywhere that is not this road.
I love it. This is definitely a British game. The humor is very, very British, and I like that. It's very clever. I always call it intellectual humor because it's usually wordplay. Been pretty cool. So this is just a special mechanic for this one particular fight. This one kind of gets crazy though. Take him out, and he's done. Okay, so now shit gets real. Alright, big green black dude. So this guy actually is a little bit more challenging, because when you dodge, you actually have to dodge extra, and you have to dodge a little early, else you're gonna get hit. And I get hit a few times. Not only that, but his real weak spot is that little blue ball on his back. See? Didn't dodge fast enough. His size really allows his fist to kind of reach around and get you. You gotta watch out. This guy will sneak up on you, and he will do a reach around, and you don't want that. So you gotta hit that ball on his back. It's not too difficult once you get the hang of it. I think I get hit for a little bit, and then I stop getting hit. I just kinda go crazy. I get used to it. It seems like this is gonna be one of those games where you kind of learn the patterns of the enemies and then go to town. So just like the other things you kill, once it's dead, it turns into something biologic. So something's going on with the plot. The story does seem kind of interesting. I like the idea of, you know, is he in the same place in a new time in the future, or, you know, what is exactly has happened? And why is everything turning living once he kills it?
What's happening?
It's interesting. So that's it. That is Horn. That's the first section of the game. Pretty fun game so far. I might do actually another video on this game, since it seems to be so massive. Once there's new mechanics that I've run into and such, I might actually do another video covering the store and any other items that are in the game. But for now, you've gotten a first-hand look at the game. It currently runs only on Tegra devices. I hear it runs really well on the Google Nexus, the 7-inch tablet. On the Transformer Prime, which is what I'm using, it required a few restarts before it actually got running good, but I've played it now for about an hour, and that was an uninterrupted with no freezes for about an hour of playing. I really think I got it working. Make sure to subscribe to us on our YouTube channel so that you can check out more Horn videos. Take a look at our blog to see any write-up coverage we have there. There will eventually be a review. Facebook is where I post everything I've done. And until next time, this has been Chris with PixelFreak.com.